Hello there and welcome to LearnBytes, the show that delivers bite-sized pieces of wisdom so you can learn how to increase your efficiency and productivity, embrace your natural creativity and lead with impact. I'm Samantha Garrett from Using Technology Better, and joining me on the show today is Dani Sirotic. Dani is a coach, a consultant and a trainer, and she's here with us today to talk about the topic of creativity. So let's jump in now and meet Dani. Hi there, Dani. Thanks so much for joining us on the show today.
Hello, and thank you so much. It's great to be here. I think it's a wonderful opportunity that you're giving to people to share lots of knowledge and learn cool things.
Thank you. That's certainly the goal, the whole bite-sized pieces of learning, and which today, your bite-sized pieces of learning for our audience is going to be about creativity. Ooh. But before we jump into that, I thought you might like just to spend a couple of moments telling the audience who you are, a little bit about yourself and what you're passionate about.
Terrific. So my name's Dani and I work as a consultant, coach and trainer. Besides that, I'm someone who is curious around the world around me, and I've always been that little person who goes, how does that work? Why is that happening? And what about this? So I love options, sometimes too much. I am the little taco girl who says, ¿Por qué los dos? Why can't we have both? But I love human beings. I think we can do some amazing things, and we have a beautiful world to be experiencing and living, even in COVID when I'm sitting here in lockdown.
Oh, I love that. And yes, yes, Victoria is back in lockdown as we record this. So that's quite interesting for us both. But all good. Well, great excuse for us to get together. We got nothing else going on. So over video. Awesome. Wow. So as I mentioned, today we're talking about creativity, and we do try and keep the show as bite-sized as we can. So I've got my speed round for you. 8 questions, 4 minutes. Are you ready to take the challenge, Dani?
Yes, let's go. I think it will be a challenge too, because I love to sort of go with ideas. So
okay.
Just pull me in and say, okay, focus, right?
Let's move. All right. And I'll try and cherry pick some of those nice ideas to discuss at the end as well. So, And I will give you a 1-minute warning, even if it means interrupting you rudely. So we'll do that straight out.
Yeah, go for it.
All right, let's do this. First mobile phone and current phone.
Okay, first one was one of those little blue, red Nokias. I don't know if you remember them. They kind of became the coolest thing after the daggy ones. So that was it. And I only got that because my boyfriend at the time was pissed off that I didn't turn up. He turned up at the wrong event and he blamed me. He goes, if you had a phone, Dani, you'd know where to come. So in the end, I waited until a better phone came. So there we go. That was it. Yep.
Awesome. Current phone?
Current phone is the iPhone 7 and it's the red one. So
I can see you like red. All right, cool. How would you define creativity, and what do you think are the key dispositions of creative people?
Okay, so I never used to think I was creative, but apparently I did lots of creative things. And I was told in an interview, someone said, are you creative? And I kind of went, I don't know. And then there was this woman called Barbara Oakley, who is a learning specialist. And she said creativity was about connecting chunks. And that's where the penny dropped. I had this real moment of, oh my gosh, that's it. So to me, it's usually about connecting dots, finding links and ideas between different things of information. And you're making something out of it, you're bringing something together. And as Ethan Hawke said to me, which I love this one, it's an expression as well. Creativity is an expression.
Interesting.
Yeah, and it's our highest form of brain expression, according to Marvin Oka, who's this behavioral modeling expert. That's where we get abstract, symbolic manipulation. It's where logic, reasoning, and thinking all come together in this wonderful mess.
Cool creativity. Love it. So then number 3, what is the biggest myth about creativity you've come across?
The self-belief thing of I'm not creative.
Yeah, so common. When, where, and how do you express yourself most creatively?
I think I see creativity expressed all the time. So I'm doing it all the time. In the nature of my work, it is because you're either developing strategies, helping pull information out from people, and it's not a color by number process. You've really got to be in the moment, being able to draw different things together, really listen or observe. And sometimes you're really passive, but you're just taking in stuff and then you're pulling it all together. So developing strategies, working with people, trying to uncover things, and also in coaching, when I'm doing sort of like personal coaching with people, helping them discover something within themselves is a really creative process, and it can be fun. It's not like, pins in eyes. That going to the tension is wonderful, right?
Coming out the other side.
Exactly, come out the other side.
All right, 1 minute. I'm interrupting now. So, biggest barrier to creativity?
It is that belief one, I think.
Yeah.
And it's what stops us from doing many things. And also time is a barrier to creativity sometimes. It's this thing, and that thing we were talking about before, that I haven't got time to do it.
Yeah, yes. And we might come back to that because that was so fascinating. Number 6, what strategies do you try to use to overcome that barrier, that belief barrier? 27 seconds.
Talking myself out of it is a good one.
Ooh, okay.
And sometimes it's just, I don't know, it's like this unconscious thing in my brain that I go, well, hang on, stop and go do something else. And just go have a go.
Yeah. All right.
Get out of your head, get into your body, go do it.
Quick. Book, video, podcast you'd recommend to others.
The Ethan Hawke one, it's fantastic. And so it's on creativity and expression. Yeah. And I know it sounds really crazy that, like, of course, an actor's going to be creative, but he pulls some beautiful connections for us to understand. And he talks about, it's about knowing ourselves, and his brother is in the military, and for him, creativity is leadership, right? So I know some of you are talking, that's his expression, and that's how he's creative, leading and helping others. And his mum, she loves quilting, and that's her creative expression. So two totally like polar opposites, but showing how that people experience and express creativity in their passions or the things of who they are and they want to bring to the world.
So in essence, it's an expression of them and there's themselves, isn't it? Like when you are being creative, you're expressing yourself and what you care about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, we didn't get to question 8, but that's cool. We got to question 7. So I think we did pretty well. And I wanted to jump back to that one of those barriers around time. And because, you sort of referenced, we had a brief off-air discussion around this whole concept. Because as people know, listen to the show, we have 3 different topics on the show, one being efficiency and productivity, one being creativity, and one being leadership. And we had that chat around, creativity is such an important skill, skill of the future, as you put it, yet so much is the focus on like being productive and all of that kind of thing. Lovely, which you could talk more about that piece and in relation to time, in terms of creativity and time.
Yeah, exactly. So one of the things, like, because you might find that if you sit and you try to focus and get a solution, you get nowhere. And then the moment you go out the door, go for a walk, jump on a bike, you're doing something else, your brain's in another space, all of a sudden the ideas come and you're like, where is my notepad now? And I think this thing that we also, that have this idea that productivity is of value because we're getting something done and we're having an outcome or solution. But the output is not the thing that you're getting necessarily out of being creative. So it's not, I'm ending up with making a glass or I'm making dinner. Like I love cooking, and that's a really creative thing. And I also value the time I allocate to it, or that I feel I need a bit of time, because that half an hour, or if I, of doing something that is creative, is so great for the brain and for the body. So that's why we do the mindfulness stuff. It puts us in a whole new space. It's how we learn, it's how we grow. And I think it's learning to sort of recognize that giving yourself some space for it, which means giving yourself some time for it, is actually really good, because in the end, it actually improves your performance, it improves your stress, improves your resilience, because it's one of those things that recharges us as well. Yeah, you feel feeling recharged and relaxed already, aren't you?
Oh, totally. I'm kicking back. Yeah. No, but I love that, because just the fact you said then, like, it's not about the output. It's actually about what you get about putting in the time. And you're right, because so often we think, well, I'm doing X, but the only thing that matters is what I'm going to get at the end. But with that creativity piece, it's like I'm actually getting value and benefit from the time I'm spending doing X.
Yeah.
Yeah, so powerful. Thank you for sharing that. I really love that. And it's you've kind of slotted into the productivity topic there a bit, which is cool.
I know. We can connect it to leadership too, I am sure. However, that may be another podcast.
Oh, baby. Well, because as you said, creativity is all about connecting the dots. So, hey, like, woo, what's happening?
Exactly.
No, that's awesome. Thank you so much, Dani, for your time. I really appreciate that. We've done a good job keeping this episode bite-sized, I reckon. So, before we wrap up for today, where can our audience connect with you? Where can they find you and more about your work and your coaching and all of that you mentioned?
Fantastic. So, and thank you. You can find me on LinkedIn. So feel free to make a connection to me and just let me know that it is because, you heard Samantha's interview and the podcast, because we get a lot of people wanting to connect on LinkedIn, but they just send notes and they're so random. You go, who? I know connecting the dots is a random creative thing, and we've just said that. However, I always really value someone popping in a little note to say, this is what creativity and connection is all about. Just kind of join the dot for me, so I can join it at the other end. So LinkedIn, Dani Sirotic, DaniSirotic, and my coaching business is mulellochange.com.
Well, thank you, Dani. You have a wonderful weekend, and I really appreciate your time. So happy lockdown. I don't know if that's a thing, but all good. Great to chat.
It is indeed, and happy lockdown too.
Thank you. See ya.
Bye.
Bye. Hello there, me again, here to wrap up the show. So thank you so much for joining in to watch another episode of LearnBytes. I really hope that you had fun listening to Dani and I chat about creativity. I certainly did, and I really love that idea that creativity is not about the end result. It's really about what you get out of the creative process. So a couple of things before we go today. If you haven't already subscribed to the Using Technology Better YouTube channel and you're watching us on YouTube, then go ahead and do that now. Or if you're listening to the podcast, you can follow the show so you get notified of all the latest episodes. And any of the links and resources that Dani mentioned today, I'll pop in the show notes as well. So that's it from me, but I will see you again soon for another bite-sized piece of the learning adventure that is life. See you then.